Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ City Manos. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. So, I am determined to give me a little battery pack, a little battery station that powers my stuff. But I do not want to use it for no ceremony. So you guys got to relax on the ceremony stuff. What I want to do, because I don't do weddings, but I do them occasionally, but I don't do weddings. But what I want to do, I want to power my 2 moving heads. I have an idea to power 4 moving heads. I want to do 2 that are completely wireless, no wires going to the back. And if you guys already noticed, I do a lot of house parties. So that's why I want to do it. I want to do it like that. So before I do all that, I got an idea how much these 2 little lights took for that little small Halo battery pack that I have. It took 2 hours to run. And that little Halo was what, 50, almost 60 watt hours. So each one is drawing about 30 watts. So I don't want to be guessing. So I just ordered this right here through Amazon. It's a Kilowatt Meter. This Kilowatt Meter. And it's going to measure the watts, the amps, the voltage. But I want to measure the watts. I'm going to plug it up to the outlet. And then you plug up your stuff to it. So now you have an idea how much watts you're drawing. Like this speaker right here. I was surprised. Check this out. I don't know if you guys follow this guy right here, Brian. So Brian also tests this small speaker. He has an EV just like John Simmons. He has the same speaker. And John Simmons used a Halo. And this guy used his other battery pack. I'm not sure what kind of battery pack his is. But he also powered his speaker. I'm like, how much watts are their speakers are drawing? They're 10-inch speakers. And how much watts are they drawing? They have to be less than, I don't know. He said, I think on his video, he said it was 25 watts his little speaker was drawing. Now, I was like, what? 25 watts? They're little 10-inch speakers right here. 10-inch, they're tiny little speakers. Right here, they say it's a consumption right here. Consumption 350 watts. So the little speakers is drawing 350 watts. Up here, it tells me continuous is 300 watts, peak 600 watts. These small little speakers as altos is sucking up 300 watts. And I was like, what? I was shocked on that. You know, then when you crank it up, man, these little suckers are loud. But anyways, so what I want to do, I want to power my moving heads, right? I want to power the moving heads. But before I do that, this is what I'm going to do. I want to get enough juice to do this. Pay attention. I'm going to hook up all my equipment, right? First, I'm going to hook up my equipment. As soon as I get that little meter, I'm going to test how much watts all my equipment is drawing. So I'm going to hook up my 2 RCF, the 2 Evox. I'm going to hook those up. And each of those speakers, it says in the back that is 750 watts. So if there's 750 and there's 2 of them, I'm guessing 1400. And then the rest of my equipment, my laptop, everything else shouldn't be drawing that much, right? It shouldn't be drawing that much. So I'm guessing around 2000 watts. So I want something in case an emergency. Check this out. So I don't have my equipment here set up, so I can't really show you what happens. So when I lose power, if you guys ever lose power, your software and your controller lose connection. So you need to turn off the software from your computer. Like I'm running a virtual DJ, I need to shut that off. And what I normally do is shut off my mixer, turn on the mixer, and then turn on the software again so they can make connection. Because or else, what I noticed when I lose power, my virtual DJ is like moving back and forth, like it lost connection, you know. And then on my DMX Gold, the same thing. Once you lose power, the lights start strobing. It started acting weird. Some of them start moving around, but since some of them also start strobing. And I already explained on my last video, that's kind of embarrassing. You're trying to start everything back up, and then everybody looking at you like, ooh, boo, boo, the DJ suck. So I want something, because these battery packs also, I forgot what the term is, but they're like it's like a pass through. Like you could plug up your battery to the wall. You could plug up that battery to the wall, and then you could connect your equipment to it. So in case the power goes off, your equipment still stays on. And I want enough in case something like that happens, all my equipment is still running. And then they gotta go back and reset their switch or whatever. But at least I want my equipment on, or the most important thing on, you know? I don't care about the speaker. The speaker go out. Like let's say I'm DJing and the speakers go out. And I look, I say, oh, my speakers went out. And I say, hey, you guys lost power. But my equipment is still on. Everything's still on. The mixer, the lights, everything. I haven't lost connection, you know? So I don't have to worry about resetting things. So I want something like that. I don't really care about if the speaker go out. That'll give me a sign you lost power. And then I could actually just pause, wait until the lights come back on. Then I could continue the music. I don't have to worry about resetting, turning things on. You know what I mean? So I want to use that battery pack for that reason. And also I want to use the battery pack in case I want to set up in the back somewhere, put moving heads in the back. And I have 2 in the back shining towards the DJ, and I have 2 facing that way. So I have 4. And if I do get the battery pack, I'm going to get 2 moving heads also, and 2 little chingies, 2 more. So I want to do it like that. And I've been thinking about it, and I really want that battery pack. Those battery packs are... I was watching this guy, his name is Hobotech, and he does a lot of reviews on the battery packs. And I love Hobotech. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Hobotech. This guy right here, Hobotech. This guy does a lot of reviews on batteries. And he does, look at this. He does different reviews on batteries. This one is supposed to be 3,000 watts. And he does so many tests on them. He really put them to the limit. He wants to know how safe they are. He actually does a test. I'm sure he's been getting a lot of questions also with the noise. He hook up a speaker to it and he hook up a decibel meters to it, and he wants to see how much humming does this makes. And some of them make noise, some of them doesn't. And he tests a bunch of little battery packs, a lot of them. They call them power generators. They're like solar, like you can hook up solars to them. And he also does a test where he wants to see how fast it takes to charge. Some of them take 8 hours. Some of them are super fast. They charge like in 3 hours. And some of them, when you charge them, they make humming noise because they have a fan inside of the battery pack. So they make a like little humming, like the fan is blowing inside the generator. Inside it, there's a little fan to cool it down. He just does a bunch of tests on them. And this guy right here, Hobotech, he's cool. I like his channel. And as soon as I get that meter, I'm going to test it out. And if everything's around 2,000, I don't think it is going to be 2,000. But let's say it is close to 2,000. I'm going to have to get something that's around 2,000. And then he also does a weight test. He put it on a scale to see how much it weighs. So you have an idea, like if I get a battery pack and it weighs 30 pounds, I'm like, oh, that's nothing. These speakers are like 80 pounds, and I'm able to carry them. So, you know, you have an idea, you know. And some of these also have flashlights. Like this one has a flashlight in the front. It looks like it has a flashlight in the front. So you could use them for multiple reasons, you know. And for me, like I said, some of them has that pass-through where you can hook up equipment, stuff to it. So if you do lose power, like let's say you're an older person and you have your oxygen tank to hook up to it, and the power, you're sleeping and you lose power. Your oxygen tank still will continue running, you know? Stuff like that. So if you lose power, I want my equipment to continue running until they get the power started. And I don't want to reset everything. Got to reset this. I got to reset my lights. So that's something I want to use the battery pack for. It looked like a small little generator, but they're not gas. It's all powered. If you want, you could hook up the solar panels to it, but I'm not going to do all that. And another thing also, what I want to use the battery pack for, if I have enough juice to power these two speakers, this one, the altos, sometimes they call me to do small gigs. And I'm going to give you an example. You guys saw my video where I did a grand opening, where in the grand opening, where I was set up by the entrance, there was a door, and I wanted to turn it up because there was people out there and I want them to hear it and hear the announcement. But when they was coming inside it was a beauty salon, when they was going inside for a tour, because the beauty salon was, it had like different stations. So you could go to one and you get a haircut, you get to go to another and you get a massage. You know, they had like different little stations. And people were taking the tours and they were getting little raffle tickets. For something like that, I didn't want to turn it up and the entrance so loud. So I wanted to put these speakers out in the back somewhere, but I didn't have no power there, you know? And I could have ran a 100-foot extension cord all the way to the back. I was ready to do that. But then the guy was worrying about a trip hazard. And he also, because it was in the parking lot, and he was also worried about, he was just worried about the trip hazard. And I told him, and also I was charging him more for taking 4 speakers. Because I told him I'm going to have 4 speakers. I'm going to have 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And I was charging him a little bit more for having that surround sound. But instead, he kind of scratched that plan. He goes, nah, just 2 speakers is good enough. But that battery pack would have been perfect because I would have had it in the back. I would have told him my speakers are battery operated. I could put 2 in the back. And I could have 2 coming in this way. I could have that surround sound, so the entrance, it won't be too loud, you know. I'll have the ones in the back louder than the one in the front. And he would have probably been like, oh, perfect, you know, let's do that. But since it was like a trip hazard, he was kind of worried about that. So, you know, you could do so many things if you have like a little battery generator. Another thing also, they call me, and sometimes it is a little small party at a park. And for me, I always have to ask about power. Is there power? I'm not sure. I said, well, can you find out if there's power? Okay, well, I'll let you know. And for something like that, I could say, sure, this is what I charge, blah, 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 blah. And I'll show my little power generator, and I'll show up. And if I know how much let's say it's a 3-hour gig, and I know my battery lasts 4 hours, I could do it. Boom, boom, get out. I'm home. Don't have to worry about lights. Just set up my equipment, take my little small speaker, set up, boom, boom, boom. So when I get my little meter, I'll have an idea. I'm going to connect these ones also. I want to see how much wattage I'm drawing. And this one, since it's 300, I'm guessing 600 for both lights, both speakers. And then with my equipment, I'm guessing around 700. So if you do 700 times 3, that's 21. So I need, to run 3 hours, I need something that has around 20 something, you know, watts. So I got to do a lot of thinking. I got to think if I want to do something like that or do, you know, if it doesn't work, you know, whatever. But my main reason to have the battery pack is for, one, emergency when I lose power. My equipment is still run for 10 minutes until they reset it. That's my main reason. And 2, the moving heads. That's all I want is the moving heads to be moving. I want everything to be wireless. I don't want to be sending extension cords to the back. I want to put I'm not going to get totems, so I don't want people to say, get a totem. You know, I'm not going to get those totems. My little car, it doesn't fit in my car. But I am going to use a speaker stand, one here, another speaker stand over there. And I want them to be wireless. Boom, moving head stand this way. So maybe I'll get a battery pack for this one, another battery pack for that one, you know. Or I would get a 1500 watt battery pack and I just put it in the middle and just run an extension cord here and an extension cord there or something. I'll figure it out, you know. But the reason why I want a 1500 so I could power also my system when I'm not using that setup in case I lose power. I only lost power once. No, actually more than once, twice. It was last year for New Year's Eve. They hooked up, they told me, because it was cold, do you want a little heater? And I was like, no, I'm good. They brought a heater They put it next to me, and it was shutting off my equipment. I said, you know what? And that's cool. I don't need a heater. And they said, you sure? And I said, yes. I said, no, we could make this work out. And I was just getting frustrated because I was losing connection. I had to spend another 10 minutes to connect all my junk again. Not 10 minutes, but it wasn't taking 10 minutes, but like it's just a minute. And it's hooking up. It's just embarrassing when you lose your power and everybody looking at you like, it's embarrassing. So I do want something like that, and I am going to look into it. So right now I'm going to bring in my equipment. I got my little den right there. I'm going to bring out stuff that I do not use no more, and I'm going to put up for sale, try to get rid of that stuff. And with whatever money I make is going to go towards the battery pack. I really want that battery pack. I don't know why. I'm determined to get it. Determined. I don't want no generator, a gas generator, because those suckers are so heavy. And the little battery packs, if you look at them, they're the size. Look at how small they are. They're not even heavy. There's some huge ones. There's some huge battery packs that they do have wheels, and there's also some battery packs that you could daisy chain them. So you just have to buy a couple of those, and you could stack them up, and you plug them up to each one, and you could draw. So if you have one that's 500 watts, another one 500, another one 500, you just connect them, and next thing you know, you have what's 500, 1500 watts. You know, and you could just chain them up like that. It's like there's so many stuff. I'm like, holy moly. It's giving me so much ideas. I'm like, oh, I want to get it, you know. So there's so much stuff out there. You know, and this guy right here, you got to watch Hobotech. He has a lot of interesting things. He does a lot of reviews. He hook up all kind of stuff. He wants to see how much it draws, how much watts it draws. He wants to see the sine wave. He wants to see the noise. He wants to see, he does a lot of tests. And this guy right here, Hobotech, man, I'm like looking at it and say, oh, I want that battery. Oh, I want that battery. Oh, I want that battery. You know? So, but first I'm going to get the little meter. I'm going to see how much watts I'm drawing from my equipment. And then from there I could go on and decide which one do I want to get. I'm going to sell my equipment, the junk that I don't use, like my EVs. I'm going to sell those. I'm going to keep these right here. I want a small one, just to keep a small one. I'm going to keep this one and sell my EVs because I would have my mediums, the Evox. I already have those speakers, so I'm not worrying about a medium. So I'm gonna get rid of the EVs, keep the Evox. I'm gonna keep the subs, and I'm gonna get rid of some stuff that I don't need. And with that money that I get, I'm gonna think about one of these. You know what I mean? So this is your boy DJ Steady Manos, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and add them to my comment section. And remember, I'm not using this battery pack for a ceremony, so I'm be like talking about ceremonies. All right, my main purpose, in case I lose power, purpose number 2, power the moving heads in the back, wireless, completely. That's it. I don't want to hear anything about ceremony. This is your boy DJ Steady Manos, and I am out. Peace.